Good evening. We call to order the regular meeting of the West Valley City Council. We note that all council members are present and attending. We'll begin this evening with an opening ceremony. Councilmember Tom Hyun, we'll turn to you.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that very much. I just invite all of you to stand up with me and do the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
All right. With that, we don't have any scout troops here. Just a few days before Christmas, so I guess that's not a surprise. Probably all having parties. We go to our minutes of December 13th. To the council then for a motion on the minutes.
Mayor, I move for approval of our December 13th minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll place it for a vote. All in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. The minutes are approved. Next, we have our comment period. In all our meetings, we have an opportunity for citizens to come and participate, and some occasionally do. And so, with that brief introduction, Mike Markham, we invite you to come forward. We appreciate your coming and sharing your thoughts.
Well, thanks. Mike Markham, 3008 Alice Circle. This is just a comment based, falls back on the front yard setbacks that you talked about in the study meeting, where they can have the RV out clear to the street as long as it's not covered. Since I've got involved with the neighborhood watch in my neighborhood, which was probably a bad thing for me to do, and drive around the neighborhood and see what's out there. We've even got some cases, not only do they exceed the setback, but they're across the sidewalk, and they've been sitting there that way for quite some time. I would like to see some kind of an ordinance where an RV can't be out in the front yard. It has to be alongside the house or out of sight. When we first bought our house and moved in, I had a truck and camper, and because I live in a cul-de-sac and could not get the camper in the backyard, I sold it because I didn't think it was fair for me to let that sit out there 90% of the time and impede my neighbors. I mean, I might be a jerk in my neighborhood, but I don't do anything that's going to interfere with my neighborhood and the aesthetics of the neighbors. And I don't even put my garbage can out until that morning of garbage. So I would like to see something like that if you could talk about it. We've got fifth wheels that hang clear out to the edge of the sidewalk. Got a couple of motorhomes that hang over the sidewalk. And I know the motorhomes over the sidewalk is a lane issue. But you know, you get these people that are buying these old motorhomes and they think we need to enjoy their toys as much as they enjoy their toys. And personally, you know, there's parking spots for things like that all over this valley now, that they can park them in either open covered or covered parking for these things. So I think for people in a neighborhood to think everybody's supposed to enjoy their toys like they do, I don't think it's fair. I think we need to come up with some kind of an ordinance where they can't extend more than maybe 10 feet beyond the front corner of their house or something. I don't know how big your motorhome is, Mayor, if you have one.
I don't know, not a motorhome.
Okay. Anyway, if we could come up with something like that, I think it would only improve the neighborhood. You know, I know we passed an ordinance here a while back, these little shipping container type things could only be in a front yard for X amount of time. Well, there's one in my neighborhood that sat there for multiple years, and it continues to sit there. You know, it's like I brought up, we've got a unified police person that is out of the Kearns district that does absolutely nothing in their yard, which, you know, on their car they cruise the the Kearns district, if they don't want to take care of their yard, let them move to the district they cruise. You know where they'll fit in. So, but next year, if this officer doesn't take care of their yard, it's a rental. Wayne will hear from me. Because you have to put them on a separate standard. They can't enforce laws to me if they can't go by their own. So, that's my spew. Thanks.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here who wanted to speak tonight in our public comment period? Seeing none, we'll come back. Any comments, Mr. Pyle?
No, sir, thanks.
Okay. To the council, any comments? Okay. I guess I'd make one comment. My understanding is sidewalks, you can't put anything on those, correct, Mr. Pyle?
Yes.
Yeah, that's already in ordinance. Although you can park them to the side, although even there, if it is a safety issue for someone to be able to safely exit their driveway, that becomes an issue. So those are the only two items I know related to that. So. With that then, we'll move forward on our agenda. We're on item 7, our ordinances. We have ordinance 16-55 to amend a part of our municipal code. This is relating to fees charged at the Utah Cultural Celebration Center. There is a modification of those fees and a simplification of some of those so that, especially with the things that will be completed there at the Cultural Center, with the basement being built out and additional rooms that should be completed within the next 2 months or so. And so this fee schedule was just to update that and clarify if discounts are given, what those discounts will be for certain groups in the city. For example, if a department of the city wants to utilize the Cultural Celebration Center, what would they have to pay, which would be different from normal rentals, since they're part of the city. That is the issue before us. With that introduction, trying to think now, I think that's about everything. With that introduction, then to the council for any comments or motion.
I move for the approval for ordinance 16-55.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing no further discussion, then we'll turn to our city recorder, who will take the roll call vote as required by state law. That was just so you would know what we're doing.
Councilman Vincent?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lang?
Yes.
Councilman Bueller?
Aye.
Councilman Hume?
Aye.
Councilman Christensen?
Yes.
Councilman Nordfeld?
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. Next we go to item 8, resolutions. We have resolution 16-186. This is an authorization for the city to enter into a development agreement with DAI Managers. This is for approximately 2.3 acres of property located at 1483 West, 2320 South. These development agreements come to us for final approval, and so, and I don't remember a whole lot from last week, so. Steve, if there's something else that we ought to have here, you'll remind me. With that, I'll go to the council.
Mayor, move for approval of resolution 16-186.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? In case you're wondering why they're laughing, I was home last week, sick, and listened in, participated electronically, which was nice. And I very much appreciated the
You're
patience.
sitting right here.
That's what they tell me. I sat on the front row for a few minutes, they told me, so. But then they brought me up here. And it was good because I was still very contagious. With that then, we will, and these are fairly routine development agreements, but they do come to us as required by state law to be processed. These particular ones through the city council. We will turn to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Nordfeld,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilman Vincent,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Next, we have our consent agenda. There are 6 different items on there, 6 resolutions. 6, 7, 2, 4. Oh, there we go. If I scroll my screen down. Oh, that's right, I minimized it. Now I get them all in there. With those 7 items, these are ratifications of city manager appointments or reappointments to various different committees and organizations, the City Housing Authority, the CAB Executive Board, the Utah Culture Celebration Center Advisory Board, West Valley City Arts Council, Historical Society, and Sister City Committees. Typically, these are fairly routine, non-controversial, and we generally will take them as a group unless someone on the council specifically wants to separate one out. With that introduction then to the council.
Mayor, move to approve the 7 items on the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll turn to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Vincent,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfeld,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, that completes the agenda of our regular city council meeting. There's no need for an executive session tonight. So, any further comments from the council? Well, I have a comment. Merry Christmas to you all. Enjoy your holiday. We won't meet next week. We'll take the week off until January 3rd. And so enjoy the holidays with your family, whatever your traditions are. And thank you all for coming. Merry Christmas to all of you. And with that, a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. We are adjourned.